and then we start.
So we're.
Hi, Amalia. Hi, Fatima. Hi.
Yeah, I think that we should start. So, hello everyone. Thanks for being here today. I am Magdalena Ribarren.
And my name is Joaquin Gonzalez.
And since this is an international event, we will wait for people to join in, and then we will introduce Poliglota. In the meantime, we will have an activity. Please enter to Kahoot. Nicolas, please copy the link, the Kahoot, in the chat, and I will share my screen so you can see the code. Please. Here we go.
Just to be clear, we have to enter Kahoot in your cell phones or computer?
Yeah, in your cell phones, please.
Okay. Should we join too?
I don't think so. I think that you already know all the answers, so don't worry.
Don't worry.
Continuar. Here we go. And the code is 4463065. I will write it down in the chat as well. I will copy. So can you access easily here.
So just to be clear, if anyone doesn't know the game, you just enter in your cell phone to kahoot.it or .com, I guess.
And you should write down the code. Please be nice with the names. I don't want to be uncomfortable. Yeah.
Okay, they're entering over there. Amalia, Gustavo, Felipe Santana, Pietra, Joaquin, Carlos, welcome.
Welcome, everyone. Yeah. We are in Kahoot right now. In the meantime, when we are waiting for everyone to join us.
Winnie, Hijong.
Yeah. Yes. Pietra, Joaquin.
And there's a Geha. That's a cool name.
Yeah, actually. We have people from around the world, like India, Colombia, Chile, a lot of countries, Peru, Brazil, Argentina as well. So yeah, we are going to wait a little longer and then we start. Don't worry, it's actually a really short game. I don't know, guys, if you know Kahoot, but it's really simple to use and to play. It's just going to be 4 questions, so do not worry. Danny.
Hello, Danny.
Yeah, I don't know if we
you can start.
Yeah, I think so. Don't worry, it's just 4 questions. It's really easy, but you should know all the answers anyway.
Okay.
The first question.
What is Y Combinator?
An international show, startup accelerator, a new big project, or none of them?
Maybe the one is the correct.
A new big project. Okay.
Yes, I will tell you anyways. Y Combinator is one of the biggest startup accelerators in the world, where a lot of big empires came out of, actually.
Empires.
Yeah. Yes, it does. Well, Matias Ruiz is the first.
Yeah, you get extra points to answer very quickly. You should know that.
Yeah, actually, yes. So next question. Which one of these startups was accelerated in Y Combinator? Google, Amazon, Airbnb, or Facebook?
Ooh.
Wow.
You know this one?
Someone's thinking. 5, 4, 3.
Oh, yes.
Very good.
Airbnb, because I said big empire, so you know what I mean. So I think that everyone knows here what is Airbnb. And actually in 2009, Airbnb participated in Y Combinator, gaining for about $20,000. So yes, it's a pretty big thing. Next one. And Geha is in the second place right now. Matias knows a lot. Which continent is Chile in?
Ah.
I hope you guys know this one. I really do. Asia, South America, North America, or Europe?
Very
Yes,
good.
Chile is the longest country in the very South America, and is more known as the country next to Argentina.
I don't know if you know this, but it's longer than the distance between the East Coast and the
Yeah,
West
I have
Coast in the
heard that
US.
actually. I have heard that, but I didn't know if it was true.
It is.
I think, yeah, Matias is going to win, probably. So next one. I think that this one is the last one. What kind of
But-
startup is Poliglota? I hope you guys know this one because Poliglota is here and watching us.
Ooh.
Fintech, biotech, edtech, and suretech.
Obviously, it's a fintech.
Yes. Actually, Poliglota is an edtech startup, and now we are going to learn more about them. Yes. Yeah, so the third place was Nico.
Not me, but just to let you
Another
know.
Nico. Second one, Tuku, and the first one, Matias Ruiz.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was first.
Well done, Matias.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Matias is a bot, or no?
probably.
It's very, very fast.
Yeah, he was good. So now let's come back to the event. Please, Joaquin,
Okay.
share the screen. Yeah. So first, we are going to introduce ourselves. This group of international students, Carlos Vázquez, Daniela Casaverde, both from Universidad Piura, Peru, Achima Koudhari, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, from India, from Bennett University, Nicolás Castellón, Felipe Sanzana, Joaquín González, and me, Magdalena Ribarran, from Universidad de Desarrollo, Chile. Are ambassadors of the program Babson Collaborative Student Network. This program is an international collaborative network with about 12 countries around the world. Please, Joaquin, the slide.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, 12 countries around the world and 15 universities as well. And today we are here to join Polyglotas with the founders Carlos Aravena, CEO, Nicolás Fuenzalía, CCO, and Jose Sanchez, CPO. And yeah, if you have any questions about the speak, please write it down with your name, your country, and of course, the question. And our mediator, Joaquín González, is going to manage the question on the end of the presentation. So, Carlos, you can share your screen now. Oh, I don't know, Nicolás.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was
Nico.
writing
Sorry.
something in the chat. Sorry. Okay, yeah, sure. So we will start with a little presentation about Poliglota, and our CEO, Carlos, will start. So I'm just going to leave it to him. Go.
Okay. Thank you very much for this great invitation. And yes, what is Poliglota? Poliglota is the only social language school for LATAM, group classes led by instructors. In the beginning, I need a big question. Think about this question. What does the future of education looks like? Please think about this. We will talk about it at the end. 1, 2, 3 words, just that. Okay? Okay, this is the overview, the first part, because we are an edtech, not a fintech, you know. We put online and offline service with more than 13,000 students in countries such as Mexico, Chile, and Peru, with more 4,000 sessions monthly and over $3.2 million in revenue over the last 12 months. We want to present you part of our history, part of our mistake, obviously, and of this great path where we teach languages. But it's not the most important things. Today, we want to expand the world of our users, helping them becoming global citizens. And Nico, please, it's your moment.
Sure. Thank you, Carlos. So, Jose, you wanna take this?
I can go ahead.
Oh,
Don't worry.
yeah, sure.
Thank you, Nico. Thank you, Carlos. So, guys, this is the big problem that we are facing in Poliglota right now, and since the beginning. In Latam, English is the #1 skill to get a higher income. And still only 2% of people are able to speak it fluently, to have a conversation in English. And this number is especially bad when you consider the next slide, that English is mandatory in most of the schools in our continent. This is something that we have suffered in our own for a long time. And we started to think about this problem 10 years ago while we were at university. Next slide, Nico, please. So we experienced this reality firsthand. We have spent a large part of our lives studying English, but when we tried to talk with a native speaker, we weren't able to say a word. We tried traditional classes, we tried gamified apps, but none of that worked. So we observed and we realized that the people who actually can speak English weren't those studying it, really. It was the people who practiced it because they have lived abroad or they have maybe friends abroad. So we thought, what if we create the perfect experience to practice English and other languages, of course, in your town? And at that time, when we were at university, the perfect experience for us involved, of course, beers. So that's what we did. We started to gather people, groups of people in bars, people who wanted to practice a specific language. It was fun, it was free, so a lot of people came and they wanted to create their own groups in their towns, in their cities. So we launched a website to gather all of this group and to let people find this group anywhere in the world. And it grew quite a lot. So we decided to drop it out of university at that moment to be focused in this. And in a couple of years, we had thousands of people gathering weekly all over the world in hundreds of cities. But we had a big problem at the time. We didn't have any business model. So we wanted to remain this free for people. So we tried a lot of things. We charged the bars for gathering the people. We did advertising in the groups. None of that worked. At some point in 2016, the three of us seated together to face the reality. We had no money left in the bank, only for £1. So we had to make hard decisions, because if we didn't make any radical change, we were gonna die. And that radical change, that's exactly what we did. So Nico, you can go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So we pivoted in 2016, and we started doing this new model of people gathering in coffee shops, learning English in small groups. And we stopped just gathering people to talk. We designed a new methodology, a social methodology. We putting together the best that we learned, gathering people in bars with the best about the academic world, with the best technology, with a very powerful platform. So people can click and join a group, make a test, assess their level. And we were gathering people in these small groups led by coaches. We call our teachers coaches because they're like someone that is training with you, accompanying you. And it was a self-designed social methodology. We call this the social methodology of Poliglota. And it went very well. We launched in 2016 with no money in the bank. We started growing, and in 8 months we reached break even, which is a very important step building a startup. And it was very good. It was very efficient for people. It was very fun. It was like having a cup of coffee, learning English or learning French, for example, in a coffee shop in Paris. So that was the experience, like really smelling coffee, having fun, but really learning a new language in a more efficient way. And so we started growing, and we made our first, the first year we made 150K, then the next year 600K, then 1.6. And at that point, we decided to expand operations. And so we started in Chile, and we opened up our offices in Peru and Mexico City. Actually, we divided. The three of us were living in Chile. And so Jose Manuel, he traveled to Mexico City with his suitcase, and that's it, alone. I traveled to Peru the same day, and Carlos stayed in Chile, looking for the team and the growth in our country. And so we started over in these countries, and it was very exciting. And we started taking more coffee shops in these three cities: Lima in Peru, Santiago in Chile, and Mexico City in Mexico. And it was great.
Nico,
sorry, yeah.
As I say, we spent 4 years hacking the Starbucks.
Yeah, we spent a lot of years trying to make a deal with Starbucks and knocking their doors, and they weren't actually responding. And in this stage, in 2019 or 2018, they knocked our doors because they realized we were having a lot of these people in their Starbucks with their t-shirts, the Poliglota t-shirts, and we were getting a lot of clients for them. So they said, "Hey, can we make a deal with you, please?" So it was great. So we were really going further. And yeah, of course, that was until 2019, and everything was looking good. As you know, the world changed a little bit after that. Go, Jose, please.
Yeah, sure. So as Nico was saying, we were growing constantly. These are the sales at the beginning of last year. February 2020 was our record month at that time, 340K in 1 month. That was awesome for us since we started totally bootstrapped. And then coronavirus struck. Next slide, please, Nico.
Yeah.
So lockdowns everywhere, we all know about that. All the coffee shops closed. So our first thought at the time was to keep our students and our teachers and our team safe. So we suspended all our classes. But our second thought was, how do we continue providing our service? Because the sales dropped, of course. But also we fear that on top of that, an avalanche of people asking for their money back will come. And that was our biggest fear at that time. So we started, next slide, please, with a race, really a race to transform our product in order to survive that moment. These are the faces of 4 or 5 people struggling inside them, trying to.
This is a real snapshot that I took.
This is a real snapshot of a meeting at that time. We were stressing out.
Yeah, Jose, 2,000 students take classes every week. What is a lot of students with no classes?
Yeah.
So we were really worried of what will come. You know, not only the sales dropped, also we were really fearing that people were going to ask for their money back. So we started this race of transforming our product from an in-person experience to a digital one. But in the center was to keep always the social component, and that was the biggest challenge for us. So in our last pivot, the one that Nico mentioned, we had 1 month to pivot, right? But now we have only 2 weeks. And of course, as Carlos was saying, thousands of clients, 2,000 students at that time, and hundreds of staff members, including our coaches, our teachers. So we worked day and night for 2 weeks. We had to retrain our coaches to do online courses, our marketing strategy, our sales strategy, and of course, our platform. So we, in March 16 last year, we ended our last learning group. And 2 weeks later, we started with our first open group. The next one, Nico. This is the face of people happy because we were able to launch the platform within the time, because we had only 2 weeks to do this, and we reached that goal. So how does it work right now? The online groups. This is the social way to learn languages online. These are small group classes. We keep the same amount of people that we have in the learning groups, 6 people in average. We had training instructors, of course, and that we train in our social methodology. And you are with the same group of people for 1 month, 8 sessions. And every person in that group is in the same level. So at the end of the month, at the end of your group, you take a test. And if you reach 80% of progress, you can go to the next level. So you are going from group to group at your own pace, at your own speed. So you can go in Poliglota from beginner to advanced in English, for example, into 12 months. That's the main product today and what people are looking for in our platform. And they pay $500 for 1 year plan. And this product, we of course launched it with a lot of fear, because we had a lot of fear for a lot of things last year, but we didn't know what will happen with this, if people will like it or not, if we will able to keep the social component of our methodology. So the unexpected thing was that people really love it. And the next slide show that our NPS skyrocketed. So if people really liked Poliglota before, you know, in the edtech industry, an NPS of 45, NPS Net Promoter Score, right? An NPS of 45, you see a lot of those in the edtech industry. We have 50 before with our learning groups. But the online groups, we skyrocket. People really love it, because we don't, you keep the social experience, but you don't have the noise, the temperature of the coffee places. You are in your house, but talking with people, as Nico was saying, is you were in France, for example. But other thing also happened. People from all over the continent started taking our courses. So with our in-person solution, with the learning groups, we were only able to provide services in a few cities in Latam, right? Santiago, in Mexico, Ciudad de Mexico, in Peru, Lima. But now we had no borders. So we had thousands of people all over the continent waiting for us. So when we feared the avalanche of people asking for the money back, we really had the avalanche of new customers from all over the continent. And these are the first months of this year. We are experiencing now a strong growth, a growth that we have waiting to have for a long time. We have dreamed with this exponentiality for years. And now we are expecting to have sales of $10 million this year. So this growth unexpectedly came from a crisis. But you know, every crisis is an opportunity if you do the things right in a certain way. And what is that way for us? What is to do things right in a crisis and to seize the opportunity for us? You need, of course, to be fast. But the main thing is that you need to be ready. And what does it mean to be ready for us? it's two components. The first thing is the right mindset. The mindset to be global, you know, to and go big or grow home, to be global. But of course, the second component and the most important, to have a great team. When you have a great team and you gather people together in order to create great things, you have more than half of the opportunity seized. Today, our team is more than 100 people, and they are working really hard day after night in order to overcome this big problem that is still happening, that in Latin America, only 2% of people are able to speak in English. So this is the trajectory that we have had. And of course, in this exponentiality, in this exponential growth that we are having right now, a big help for us was, of course, Y Combinator. And Nico is going to talk more about that.
Sure. Thank you, Jose. It's good to see these pictures about our team in so many countries. And just to let you know, if you would like to make questions, please do in the chat. And I cannot see it because I'm presenting, but Joaquin and Magdalena will be writing down some questions. If you want to talk with everybody, panelists and participants, you have to click both in the chat. And you can also make questions, right, in the separate part of the webinar. Okay, so do you want to know about Y Combinator? So it was a huge experience. This was the moment that we received the news that we were accepted in Y Combinator, and you have to apply. And every year, over around 20,000 companies apply to Y Combinator, and they're big companies that are part of this space. Companies such, we talked a little bit about Airbnb, Dropbox, and Stripe. I don't know if we have, yeah, over here, you see? So Airbnb, Stripe, and Script, and Brex, Reddit, Coinbase. Yeah, so many great companies that they're worth billions right now. Many of them are in the stock market. They started in Y Combinator. So in some ways, Y Combinator is like the Harvard for founders, for startups. It's like it's the best place where you can be to put yourself forward, to push you into the market.
Nico, is best the Babson for founders?
Yeah. Of course. Babson, sorry, you're absolutely right. Babson for founders. So these are world level startups. And so the application, if any of you would like to apply with your own companies right now, if you have one, if you want to create a company, some people apply to YC with just a very good idea and some level of traction or verification. So you don't need to have like a 100 people company. You can start with a very interesting idea and some work on it. You can not get there with a napkin, but you can go there if you're building something. And that's why 20,000 companies apply every year. And what should you expect? You should expect to make a lot of questions about you. They invest in founders, in the team. If you're great in what you do, if you're committed to solve a problem, and you have a great opportunity, a market opportunity, and a great product, they will invest in you. So that's what Combinator does. They invest $100,000 in each company, but that's not the most important part. The most important part is what comes after that. The academy that you get into, the experience that you live after that, and of course the exposition you get with demo day and everything that comes after. I'll go back to that. So our process, many people apply a lot of times. We have people that have applied more than 10 times because they really want to get there. If you get rejected one time, you can still try again. We tried and got in the first time. We think it's because we had some traction and COVID made us reinvent, and we became a global company. we used to be in 3 cities: Mexico City, Lima, and Santiago de Chile. But right now, we're a global company, gathering people in many, I mean, in a video conference platform, but with people from many, many cities in Latin America and in the world. We're getting people from many places right now. And so from being a company that was growing naturally, organically, we became a company with the potential of growing exponentially, as Jose was saying, globally. And that was the best moment to join Y Combinator. That's what we thought, and they agreed. So they asked a lot of questions in the interview. They asked in the forms that you have to sign in. They ask questions about you. What problems have you solved? What have you hacked in your life? Like something that you have twisted around. So it's very interesting, the process. And we presented Poliglota like this, showing that like this global company, and this is the moment for us to grow fast. And that's why we joined. And well, so the experience was, we were having weekly meetings with world-class advisors, such as Michael Siebel. I don't know if you know him, but he's the CEO of Y Combinator. He's an awesome guy. Take him online, look for his podcasts and videos. He's really one of the smartest guys I ever met. And we were having weekly meetings with this guy, talking about Poliglota, how the future looks like, which keys should we click, and everything we needed to do to get to the next level. And these were not like meetings where we were presenting things and he was saying like, yeah, that looks nice. Yeah, no, he was very hard. Like, why are you doing that? We should be doing this other thing. Okay, let's move on. One more. What else? Sorry. What else we should discuss? So question, strategy, just going forward. They were very fast, very efficient, and we were rebuilding the growth of our company. We also had workshops with many interesting people, office hours with other partners, experts in many different areas. We were having meetings with our fellow batchmates, people like us, founders that were experiencing the same problems, the same scalability, and we were having these talks with them. It was very good. And as Jose was saying, this change of mindset. We already had a change of mindset when we decided to go global, but it was different because Y Combinator and the investors they bring on into the table, they only invest in companies that have the potential of becoming a unicorn. So sometimes we say, yeah, I want my company to be in 300, I don't know, 3 countries, 5 countries. I want to have sales by, I don't know, $50 million. That's not enough. These people are investing in unicorns, companies that are valued, that they have a value of more than $1 billion. So the road ahead, what you really must think about is how you're going to get to be a unicorn. And that changes everything. So everything we did from Y Combinator and so on later, and what we're doing right now is building that road to becoming a unicorn. And it's been very, very interesting. So the second part, is remember these great companies, Airbnb, Stripe, Twitter. So we had the chance to meet with these extraordinary founders. This is us with Joe, Nathan, and Brian, founders of Airbnb, in a Zoom meeting. It was insane. So just talking like you're right now, but we could make questions for them too. We're not Airbnb, of course, but we were talking with them, asking them about their struggles, how they faced COVID, and everything that they did, they're doing right now, how they started. And we talked with the guys, with the founders of Stripe, Brex, Dropbox, Tweet, many others. And it was amazing. It's amazing to get to know the stories behind every company, how they managed with the mistakes they did, the things that they did right, everything about their history. It was really really cool. And then demo day came in. Demo day is the final day of Y Combinator. This is the day where you present yourself to investors. And in that day, in our case, more than 2,000 different investors connected to this demo day. And we're watching this, our and our batchmates present. We had 1 minute and 1 slide. So we were a lot of companies. So they gave us 1 minute and 1 slide. That's it. So we really had to prepare for this. And it was live.
And 3 months preparing this 1 slide.
Yeah. So, and it's a big opportunity because and it was online. So Y Combinator usually is done in a face to face. You have to go to California and be there. And the demo day is like it's in a scenario. Now it's online due to COVID. But it was cool because many more investors were able to join. Okay. That's us in the left. In this day, like the backstage, you know, with the light and the camera, everything was prepared for us to present. And we were the 3 of us, just very nervous because it was live. We couldn't make any mistakes. And at the right is Carlos. So usually when you're raising money, you have to talk with a lot of investors. You're looking for them. You're knocking doors, getting a lot of no's, and you're looking. This day, it was the other way around. Investors were asking for meetings with us. And that's Carlos at the right, like browsing through investors, begging us to take a meeting. You see his face, like, finally. And we got, like meeting requests from over 50 funds and 50 angels from alumni from RC. So it was amazing. It was really, really cool. And it's a great moment to connect. And we had a goal in our minds. And it took us a couple of weeks and we raised over like $2.5 million to invest in our growth. So it was very good. The investors were very pleased with what we were doing. And many cool investors joined. Big funds from Silicon Valley, some founders from other startups, like the founder of Zynga, the Zynga games. I don't know if you know it, Lambda School, and some other, like the Harvard fund. Harvard invested in Poliglota. So it was very cool to have all these investors to join our company. I don't know if you want to see the 1 minute video.
Yeah.
Okay, let's show it.
Yes.
Let me see if it works. Yeah. Hello, everybody. I'm Nico. I'm here with my co-founders, Carlos and Jose. Poliglota is the online language school for Latam, where small group classes are led by instructors. When learning a language, instead of using a traditional class or downloading Duolingo, you join a group of 5 people of the same level, having online social conversations guided by an expert instructor. English is the #1 skill to get a better job in Latam, and still only 2% of people are able to speak it fluently. We are changing that. We launched this product last year, and now we're making $300K of monthly revenue, growing 45% each month. Every year in Latam, 9.2 million people graduate from high school, and most of them can't speak English. That's an annual market of 4.6 billion only in Latam. We are already growing very fast in Latin America. Now we will scale globally, reaching a growth of 10x over the next 12 months and become the largest language learning school on earth. We are Poliglota. Thank you. That was it. And that was the minute, and it was live. So if I would cough, that would make the end of our presentation. So it was great. And that's how we managed to get all those invites, those meetings. We raised this great route. So I think we get to the questions, whatever questions the public can have. And back to our question, this question about how does the future of education looks like? We want to hear some words. What do you think? What is the word that comes to your mind when you think about the future of education? We know COVID changed everything. It changed everything for us. Also changed everything for our friends or family. I'm guessing it changed a lot of things for people at Babson too, right? So
Yeah.
what do you think? I think we're going to use Mentimeter, right?
Yes, I already shared the question and the link, and we have some questions right here. The first one, Big Murty is asking for break even, and what's the revenue stream?
Sorry, what was the question about break even?
Yeah, he only asked about break even. So I think that he's asking when did you have the break even, and how did you get it, and what's the revenue streams?
So I think we show it. So break even, we reached it at 2016, the first year with the learning groups product, when we were gathering people in coffee shops. And then we kept bootstrapping. Bootstrapping means when you're like growing by your own.
Okay.
After until YC, then we raised money to grow faster. And the revenue stream, today we're getting to 500K of monthly revenue.
Okay. We have another question from Nicolas Castellon from Chile. And he asked, what was the most valued thing that Y Combinator gives to you?
You want to take this, Jose, or I don't know.
Yeah, sure. I think that the most valuable thing in Y Combinator was the people that you met. You know, as you were saying, you get to meet founders of awesome companies like Airbnb, Drops, of course, and you get to have them thinking about your business, and that is an incredible value in that. But of course, are the people also that you don't meet. You know, for example, one after the speech, the 1 minute speech in demo day, our first investor was someone that we haven't met yet. Austin Ulrich of Lambda School. He invested in Poliglota after 2 emails in 10 minutes. You know, 150K. Our first investment after demo day. So you have the people that you meet, but also the people that you don't meet, and they invest in you. So I think that's the biggest value in the program.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
one other thing that I would like to mention is that being a Y Combinator company is for the future, for the present and the future. You become a Y Combinator company. You stay that way. And that's an opportunity, but also a responsibility in the way that you need to really be up to it. You really need to keep growing, and you need to get to be a unicorn and really, I don't know, get to NASCAR one day. And many companies, of course, they fail, but you have a responsibility with your team, with whatever investor you can have and clients. Like, you have the opportunity to grow, and you need to take it, and you need to grow faster. That's the mindset that they changed in us. And that was another great input.
Because we take the product market fit, and the product market fit is I think it's the most important, because you take impact, you take a good opportunities for the users, and the people really enjoy this methodology, and it's a big opportunity for grow exponential. And this is a responsibility, but it's the unique opportunity for take the company, transform, and a new global company, and create a new global company. No?
Well,
There's
I have,
also, so go.
Sure.
okay, so I have a question. Why do you think, well, I feel like in between COVID, a lot of people wants to learn another language. Why do you think that is that? Or is that true?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Why, if you have like different way to teach, and now online is more difficult? So I don't know if increase your demand.
yeah, of course, your demand. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, language, it's always been useful for a lot of reasons, you know, academic reason, social reason, but the main one is for job related reason, right? People need to speak English in order to work around the world. Let's remember that English, for example, is not the language for the countries that speak English. It's the language of the world, you know, today. So before COVID, it was really useful if you want to go abroad in order to get a job, or if you want to work for a company of abroad that is in your country. But today, there are no barriers, there are no borders. You can be here today in Chile, for example, or in Egypt, in everywhere in the world, working for another company in any other part, and English is the language that you are going to talk in the meetings, you know? So today there are no barriers, there are no borders, there are no frontiers to work anywhere in the world. But the language is the last barrier. You can use a translator to be in a meeting, for example, you know, maybe for an email, but not for a meeting. For example, in this year, the developers, you know, the IT industry in Latin America. If you are working for a Latin company, you are going to have some amount of salary. Before COVID, you can increase 30% your salary if you work for another company and you speak English. Today, this year, you can double your salary if you are working for Amazon or Airbnb or whatever company in the US or abroad. So there is a huge difference for the developing countries when you speak or not English. Mm-hmm. Nico,
There's some questions. Yeah, there's some questions in the
Yeah,
questions
yeah.
and answers part.
Here's one from Daniela from Peru, and she says, if many people apply, even repeatedly, when did they realize they were in the best of time to apply to Y Combinator?
Even repeatedly.
So you're asking like, what's the best time to apply? The best time to apply is now.
Like, what do they see in you?
Oh, wait, I'm gonna look at the question again. So if any people really, when did they realize they were in the best time? So
Maybe
I don't know
not
what the
good
question
time.
is about, but I think
Daniela wrote again. In
Yeah,
your case, they, you guys.
in your case, okay. So we always, I think in a way, we always dreamed about getting to Y Combinator, but we never really applied. And as I said before, what we thought it was right now, we were reaching the opportunity of becoming an exponential global company. Before that, we were more heavy. We didn't have the possibility to grow fast because we needed to open spaces in coffee shops, finding teachers in every country we were entering into. So we knew there was something missing. And with COVID and everything that opened up for us, we said, okay, we're in that point right now.
Yeah.
But just let me say, if any of you would like to apply, the moment to apply is now. It's not later. So just apply.
Yeah.
If you have a good idea, if you have a good business, just do it. And if you need help, we'll be happy to join, to help. We actually, as YC alumni, we can recommend startups. If we see a startup that is good and we think they have a strong team, we can say to YC, hey, these guys are great. Please interview them.
Yeah.
So if any of you would like to, just write us.
Yes. I think is the best moment is now. Yeah. But it's funny because we are apply one time, and Jose with your friend.
Yeah, sure.
I don't say
Yeah.
the name, but it's 9 times applied to Y Combinator.
Yes, I mean, we had a lot of batchmates that have applied 2, 3 times, but we have a friend that have that it's his 9th time applying.
9
Yes,
times.
yes.
Wow.
So, but it doesn't make any difference, you know. They are not gonna say to you, "Hey, you are applying too many times. Please stop." You know,
No,
because if
no.
you're ready, you have enough traction, and you have a really great goal in mind, you're gonna
Yeah.
get it. Mhm.
Okay, we have a lot of questions. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
let me browse in some of the easiest to go like answer fast
where are you seeing this in the chat?
in the
we have
chat.
Community.
Question and answers. For example,
Okay.
they're asking other languages to incorporate. Yeah, we teach a lot of languages. We teach German, Italian, French, Portuguese, English, Spanish. So there are many languages that we already teach.
Sadly, today we are still focusing in teaching other language, a second language, to Spanish speakers right now. But our goal for next year is to be able to provide a more global service, right?
Yeah, they were saying like it's a barrier when people got together physically. There was a problem barrier. Yeah, of course. The problem with getting people together is that we needed to open physical places. We needed to gather 5 people of the same level, learning the same language at the same era, available at the same time. It was very hard logistically. And now we don't have to do that because we can gather people from many countries. You get to a meeting, you see people from many different countries. Some people are asking about marketing strategy. There are a lot to say over there, but we do content, we do qualified leads, we have a sales team. There's a long way to do what we do in marketing terms. Carolina is asking Jose about progress check. How do we I don't know how much time do we have left, Joaquin?
About what? About
Magdalena.
progress?
Yeah,
Well-
she's saying, how does your business model include some sort of progress checker for the students? Will Poliglota consider creating an online or mobile platform for students to check their progress? So Jose is in charge of our product department, and yeah, we surely have that.
How long do we have, Joaquin?
Don't worry, just answer the question.
Okay.
We don't have a limit. If they want to know a lot, just go ahead.
Great, awesome. So that's a really interesting question there, Carolina, because how do you track your progress when you're learning something, you know? But not something that is only content. For example, when you study history, you have amount after amount of information that you have learned. But a skill, something that can go that can progress and also can get back sometimes. So how do you measure this? So we use the CFR, the European framework, in order to track the progress, the proficiency in a language. And you have 5 different components of those skills, right? The oral components, the writing components, and etc. So after each session, the coach is hosting the meeting. They track the progress instantly in each one of the members, and after the class you can track that in your platform. So at the end of the month you can go if you are making all the progress that you need, and when you reach 80% of the proficiency of one level, you are ready to go to the next level. So I hope that answered your question. Do we have another ones, Joaquin?
You're muted.
I'm sorry. Revit asked that, hi sir, maybe you already answered this question while presented, but I joined late. My question is, what was your marketing strategy? I think that you already answered that. And Heidi, when you gear, Was what the problem barrier with security when people got
We
together physically?
also answered that.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll take another one. Carolina is asking, was the advice you heard in the Y Combinator something you have heard before, or did they provide new insight? What was that insight on startups and your business model? Of course, we heard a lot of new stuff, and we got a lot of advice, but I would say that it's not, you can get a lot of advice online with advisors, going to forums and, I don't know, blogs. But the most important thing is how to focus on what's important about your own business. And that was the most important thing about Y Combinator. That way of doing things, that focus that you need to have in order to scale. Like some of the things that we heard about them, it's not something that would seem to be necessarily very new to us, but it's something that we needed to do to scale. So they give you the right advice and the right prioritization of ideas. So, for example, they talk a lot about building things people want, really talking to customers, starting with doing things that don't scale. You cannot start doing things that will magically grow. You need to talk to customers. You need to do things. Everything needs to be done manually at first. You need to spend a lot of time like analyzing and perfecting your product. And then once you get to product market fit, as Carlos was saying, then you scale, then you grow, then you think about how to gain more scalability. And there's some keys to do that, of course, a lot of advices, but the most important thing is to know where you are and what you need right now. Okay.
Okay, there's more questions. Guys, feel free to ask everything to our speakers from Polyglotas.
Well, I think because of the time, we should like stop with the questions.
Okay.
Can you share your screen, please?
Yeah, I'm going to share the results of the Mentimeter.
Awesome.
Please tell me if you see it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the question: what does the future of education looks like? And we had a lot of words: personalized, online, technological, global, digitalized. Oh, well, I see that it's a tendency here to go to the IT develop of edtech technologies and personalized too. So
yeah, I see hybrid over there. That's an interesting one.
Yeah,
because we see it the same way. Within the future of the educations will be hybrid. We're gonna see people getting together, but also people going online. Also getting online tools to get people together in a way that they feel like they are face to face. That's what we're doing. So
well, thank you all for your feedback. It's really good and useful for our speakers. Now, give me 1 second.
Yeah, we are closing the conversation.
Yeah. We want to go on, Nicolas.
Special thanks. No, we just wanted to thank you. Go ahead, please.
Okay.
Okay, well, closing the conversation and the event, we would like to thank the Polyglotas team for being here today and tell us about their experience and everything that came out with this conversation, with the questions and the answers, of course. For us, it's been a privilege to have you here and tell us about your experience from the very first moment of Polyglotas. Thank you, honestly.
Yes, it was a wonderful and one on a life opportunity to speak with such a great team and great people as well. And we want to give a special thanks to all our Babson Collaborative Student Network, our ambassadors and our teachers, especially Jamie Kendreski, that was very helpful with this activity. And we want to give a special thanks to the Universidad del Desarrollo for helping us with the broadcast of this event, especially UDD TV. If you want to rewatch this awesome event, you can search it in UDD TV. And we also want to thank University of Piura from Peru and University of Bennett from India for helping us in all the organization of this event.
And thank you all for coming, all the participants, because thank you for participating in this event. And if you want to join us in this kind of international event, you can follow us on Instagram of the program, Babson Collaborative Student Network.
Yes, and here's all the contact information for Polyglotas and the contact information from the Babson Collaborative Student Network. Feel free to engage and connect in every social media with our speakers and their awesome startup and with our network of students from all around the world.
Yes.
Awesome, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
that's all, folks.
That's all, folks. Yeah, great. If you need something, just message us look for us in LinkedIn or Instagram. Look for us,
whatever.
and we will happy to help you. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you.
Stay safe, stay happy. Have a great weekend.